Hey, welcome Broken World Entertainment, and let's break down and then discuss the abomination that is Marvel Studios' brand new teaser trailer for The Marvels. That's right, they finally dropped a trailer. It's a teaser, even though it's 2 minutes long. It's garbage, which is no surprise. This movie's been delayed something like 5 times. 5 times. They're constantly reshooting it, major reshoots. We hear there's all types of problems going on with it. This thing's probably got a budget upwards, if not beyond 300 million. This trailer is garbage. Not to mention, there's already plot holes in said trailer within the first 20 seconds. But we'll get to that. So let's break down the trailer. Won't play it because, as usual, they've put copywritten music in there, the Beastie Boys. And by God, it plays loud, so they really don't want you hitting it. So we open up in space, over Earth, at a gigantic space station called Sabre Space Station. Where and when and how this thing was built, don't know, but Nick Fury's on it, talking to Monica Rambeau, who's out in space saying she's going to get him some data. She's out in space, not in a little spacecraft, not attached to the space station. She's literally floating in space in nothing more than a spacesuit towards some shimmery nebula or something in front of her that you can barely see. So what does this stunning and brave warrior do? Well, she loses comms with the space station, carries on her journey up to the thing, and just willy-nilly puts her fucking hand into it. That's right, she just stretches out and touches this goddamn thing. Because that's what you do with unknown objects in space. But of course, we all know she loves going through weird barriers that shimmer. That's how she got her powers. But something happens. What is it? Well, she changes, gets fired away from this thing, and I mean fired away from it. Except we now hear a voice screaming, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." Who is it? That's right, she switched places with Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, who floats up to the window of the space station and sees Nick Fury, gets all excited and asks, is this a test for the Avengers? Where did Monica go? Well, she came flying out of a giant butthole in space, crashing down onto a planet's surface, with not even a scratch on her, where some Kree seemed to run after her. On a set that looks more dated and old than a set from the original Lost in Space series. She uses power against these guys, and what do we get? We finally get Captain Marvel, Brie Larson. 47 seconds into the trailer it takes before you get your first glimpse of Brie Larson. And here's the funny thing. The clip they show was the final scene in the Ms. Marvel show. Yeah, we then go to Nick Fury and Monica Rambeau showing up to Kamala Khan's house, wanting to talk to her. She gets all super excited to see them again. She says Rambeau says their powers somehow have been intertwined. She can manipulate or something light, and asks what Kabila's powers are. She says, I'll show you, and they try and say no, and she turns her powers on and goes flying through table, and it's now Brie Larson losing her shit. You ask, where's Kamala, who is now in some dark, gloomy corridor that looks like it's something from Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek, where two people assume they're the Kree coming up to her, and what walks up beside her? The cat. The cat that took the eye of none other than Nick Fury. Fires his tentacles out, eats the two people. Kamala loses her shit. Then we see her, Bree, and Monica Rambeau in a spaceship. Then we get just random fight scenes. Monica Rambeau fighting somewhere. You don't see who she's even fighting. Kamala, what appears to be on a ship or something, on a bridge of a ship, running around beating people up. And then we get the Bollywood scene. Yes, let's not forget, this movie is the movie that has a planet that sings everything they say. That's right, where we meet Captain Marvel's husband. And Captain Marvel seems to be cosplaying the jellyfish aliens from TNG's Encounter at Farpoint. Then we get something happening on the space station where Nick Fury calls for shields up because he's in the wrong franchise. Then we see a bunch of kittens running down a staircase. Then we see Captain Marvel's husband. And then we meet our big bad, who is a woman boss. Yeah. And she's fighting Monica, Kamala, and Captain Marvel. What's her name? Carol, isn't it? Carol Danvers. That's the only scene, by the way, where you see Brie Larson in action. And then the trailer ends with Kamala saying we're a team and the other two saying we're not a team. That's the trailer. Plot holes. Let's just dive right into this, shall we? Because first plot hole is, why in the name of Christ would you lose comms, be floating out to a goddamn weird nebula, shiny glittery thing in space, and just go up to it and touch it? What do you think you are, Spock with V'ger? So stupid. Next plot hole. When Kamala becomes where Monica was, she's now in the spacesuit. Problem is, with every other scene we see them switch bodies in action throughout the trailer, the clothes they are wearing goes with them. So when Captain Marvel switches places with Monica Rambeau, she's not all of a sudden in that white jumpsuit and Monica. So why the hell did the spacesuit not change? Probably because they realised, oh, the movie would just end. Next plot hole. And this is a big one because it would appear that either the same people who are working on Blue Beetle worked on this, or the people they have at both Marvel and DC haven't a fucking clue how space works. The Blue Beetle trailer, of course, we see him in the suit for the first time getting blasted out into space, out of the Earth's atmosphere. He's now in space. And his little jetpack turns off and he falls back to Earth. That's not how space works. Where Kamala is now being fired across space towards the space station at such a speed that there's only going to be two things that happen. A, she plows into the space station and becomes mush. Or B, she passes the space station and she's fucked because she's out into space. No, they have her slow down her approach and then just gently dunk onto the window. Space doesn't work like that. We're only 18 seconds into the trailer. Next plot hole. She immediately recognizes and gets all excited about Nick Fury. Okay. How the hell does she know who Nick Fury is? No one knows who Nick Fury is. He's the master spy. He's a secret agent. He's not out and about running around with the Avengers and stuff. How does this little kid know who Nick Fury is? Exactly. Let's get to the next problem, shall we? That problem is Monica Rambeau being fired out of a space butthole onto the surface of a moon. And she doesn't have a scratch on her. This is some Michael Burnham from Discovery level shit here. She came firing out of orbit and crash landed on a planet and just got up and walked it off. At least she had a couple of cuts. Monica Rambeau gets fired out at such a high rate and just plows into the ground and not even a scratch. Barely even any dirt on her. She should be mush. She's not in a special suit. As we hear in the trailer, her powers are based on light. There's no light when she crashes. Very stupid. Then we go to that problem with them, Nick Fury and Monica Rambeau, going to see Kamala. So they know they can change places. That if they use their power, they're going to switch places. So when they went in there to talk with her, they never said, whatever you do, don't use your powers. Instead, they go in and say, hey, what's your powers? And then she goes, oh, I'll show you. Even though she already knows that she shouldn't use her powers because she just switched places and was in space. This trailer is such dog shit. And what's interesting is, if you look at the ratios and stuff on the trailer, it's getting very close to it being level for likes and dislikes. However, the dislikes seem to be slowing down, which means YouTube, via Marvel and stuff, seem to be probably deleting a ton of them. And all you have to do is look at the actual comments. Because they made an oopsie earlier, where the same person commented twice, directly one after the other, but at different times. How does that happen? Trailer's garbage. The visuals are horrendous. The stuff just makes no sense. Oh yeah, and the last fight scene we see in the trailer of girl boss fighting the other three girl bosses, they do the standard, okay, here's what we'll do. Monica Rambeau, you attack her first, then stop and let her turn around and then let her fight Kamala Khan, and then you stop and let her turn around and fight Captain Marvel. Yeah, genius, guys. Let's just attack her one at a time. Pioneers, these people. This movie's gonna suck. And I, for one, can't wait. Again, it was delayed 5 times. Its budget must be insane, and they are doing their best to hide Brie Larson in this trailer, because she is barely in it. Monica Rambeau is really front and center, and they obviously are trying to make Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, a female version of Peter Parker, except she's more annoying. But anyway, that's what's in the trailer, and that's the plot holes and everything that everyone has picked up immediately. So with that, I'll leave it there for this one. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one. Can't wait to see how they fuck space up next time.